Hello.
Hello and good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Good morning to you too.
Well, you've got a subject here that needs to be talked about. And, people try to talk about it, but it's such a big mystery to so many people because of the symptoms. And Google says this and this calendar says that. And what is going on? And why is it we don't know that much about what's happening?
So pancreatic cancer is a challenging disease. The 5-year survival rate is just 11%. And one of the things that makes pancreatic cancer so challenging is that there is no early detection test for the disease. So instead, we want people to be aware of the symptoms and the risk factors for the disease so that they can be their own best, patient advocates and go in and talk to their doctor when they're experiencing them. But what we know from a survey that PanCan just released is that 83% of adults in the United States are unaware of the signs or symptoms of pancreatic cancer. So our goal in this conversation with you is to help educate the public about those signs and symptoms so that they can be more aware and have the right conversation with their doctor.
So now the signs and symptoms, do they differ between men and women?
They do not differ between men and women. The common symptoms of pancreatic cancer, and one of the things that makes it tricky is the symptoms are things that are fairly benign that could be indications of many other diseases. So some of the common symptoms are abdominal or back pain, weight loss, unexplained weight loss, you're losing weight and can't explain why, digestive problems, those are the most common symptoms. But there's also other symptoms. One of the most visible symptoms is jaundice. So that's the yellowing of the skin or the eyes, changes in stool, and new onset diabetes is also another potential symptom of pancreatic cancer. So at pancan.org, people can download a free conversation guide that lists the symptoms of pancreatic cancer and also provides some tips for having a conversation with your doctor about the disease.
So does age play into this, or can it be any age?
We certainly, the average age of pancreatic cancer is over 60, and 90% of patients diagnosed with pancreatic cancer are 55 or older. So certainly it skews towards the older end of the spectrum, but we also, have cases of pancreatic cancer in people that are, in their 40s and younger. So it's something that's good for everybody to be aware of the signs and the symptoms.
You talk about that 5-year survival rate standing at 11%, but I would love to see the numbers on those that have beat the odds, and what is it about them and their DNA that has given them that inner strength to be able to beat the odds?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, certainly if the disease is diagnosed early enough, patients are eligible for surgery. It's called a Whipple procedure. And those people that are able to have surgery have a much more higher likelihood of living longer than those people who are not able to have surgery. So early detection and detecting it early is definitely a factor. And as you point out, we're continuing to learn about why do some people do better than others. And that's what research is for. That's why we need more funding for research to better understand individual unique characteristics of every patient and why one treatment isn't the same for everybody, and why some people do better than others.
Listeners need to understand and pay close attention to the reason why that 11% for the 5-year rate is happening. It's because when people have problems with this, it's usually because it's already grown into other tissues and muscles and things like that. And that's why, like you're saying, awareness is the key factor here.
Absolutely, because usually by the time someone is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, it's late stage and it's metastasized or spread to other organs. And once it's spread beyond just the pancreas to other organs, it makes it much more difficult to treat. So we want to be able to, instead of diagnosing people when it's late stage, we want to be able to diagnose people when it's a much earlier stage, when it's still contained in the pancreas, and they could go in and potentially have surgery.
So let's just say that someone is diagnosed. Is there a community that people can go to have someone to talk with? Because we still have to keep that. We can't go inward, because if we go and we become introverts because we've been diagnosed, we've got a problem here, and it's got to be talked about.
Absolutely, and that's what PanCan is all about. We are a community for people who are dealing with pancreatic cancer, people who have lost someone to pancreatic cancer. If you go to pancan.org, you can read many amazing inspirational stories about people that are facing this disease. And we also have a wonderful patient services program. So if someone is diagnosed, they can call in, they or their family member can call in and talk with one of our trained case managers. It's all free of charge, and they get information and resources so that they can make informed decisions about their care.
And now I realize that today is World Pancreatic Cancer Day, which is the 17th of November of 2022. But the thing is that this has got to be something that's every day. We've got to keep the talk going and growing, and making sure that we get into the communities to keep it out there.
Absolutely. I mean, today's a great day. World Pancreatic Cancer Day is a great day to shine a spotlight on the disease and to raise awareness about the signs and symptoms. But as you said, this is something that needs to happen all year long. We need people to join our fight, join our movement, volunteer, make a donation, and get involved so that we can accelerate the rate of progress for patients.
Yeah, and we've got to reach those people that, when you say there's a big chance that you could have this cancer. Yeah. It's like we've become that generation that goes, And it's like, no, don't do that, because your is going to inspire another person to be non-caring as well. You've got to be able to become a voice.
Absolutely. I think, information is power. And that is, we want people to be their own best patient champions. The more information you know about pancreatic cancer and other diseases, the better off you can go in and have the right conversation with your doctor and ensure that your health is being taken care of in the way that it should. One of the things that we know is that African Americans have a higher incidence of pancreatic cancer than any other racial or ethnic group. And so that's a really important community that we want to educate about pancreatic cancer so that they're aware that they're at higher risk and they're aware of the signs and the symptoms.
Oh, you've got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The platform is always going to be open for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for helping us spread the word. Again, people should go to pancan.org to learn more and to consider making a donation during Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month.
Absolutely. Will you be brilliant today, okay?